All right, let's look at some positions the Vikings could target after final cut day. Ah! All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and once all final cuts are in, all teams get their final cuts in, there might be some real intriguing players out there the Vikings might want to grab.
Yeah, that first final three is written in pencil. It's not written permanent Sharpie marker. Changes will be made, and Minnesota Vikings could be bringing in some help at certain positions. We got the top three they may address. Before we do that, there's still time to drop hashtag LiftBridge in the comments for your chance to win one of two $50 gift cards to their online store.
Hell yes. So yeah, top three positions. Let us know what position you think they might be sniffing around at. But this year is different. I mean, whole new coaching staff, coaches from all over the place that definitely their previous stop have some players that they probably liked or think that was a hidden nugget. I mean, before we had Zimmer, and they just always kept their own guys. They rarely went and got somebody else.
Loved them. They loved them. All right, where do you want to start?
Let's start with wide receiver. BC Johnson goes down. Nice little veteran presence there, and you know we're pretty good with the top four, but it gets a little dicey after that.
Well, I think they like the young talent on this roster. Looking at it, Tristan Jackson, Myron Mitchell was released already, so they were kind of the two that were sitting there. Jalen Naylor is another one. I think they like both those guys, Jackson and Naylor, but you might want to have a guy on your depth chart with some veteran experience in case one of the top guys does go down. That's what BC Johnson provided. Albert Wilson was here. They let him go very, very early.
Didn't want him.
Yeah, they didn't. So I don't think he's coming back. But if a veteran receiver is available, the Vikings, maybe they have some ties to this current coaching staff. Maybe they go out and bring him in just to have that veteran piece down the depth chart.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to get a little greedy here, but if they do go that route, I want him to be able to return punts. He doesn't have to be our starting punt returner, but if shit hits the fan early, I want somebody that's going to go back there and catch the ball.
You need to trust ISM. You need to trust him.
I want to. He needs to earn that. So wide receiver, I think it's definitely going to be some. And wide receiver, always, every year, there's some good ones that are cut. There's be some good players.
There's just so many damn receivers out there. So there's going to be somebody with talent, somebody with some experience, somebody who maybe even knows this offense out there. The Vikings could bring in if they choose to do that. Let's go to where the big boys play. Let's go to the offensive tackle.
Offensive tackle. Our depth at offensive tackle is terrifying. I haven't slept since about early March. It's gross. If one of our tackles goes down right now, the Vikings are absolutely screwed.
Yeah, not sure who they're keeping yet. We think it's going to be Blake Brandel and Oli Udo, and maybe Vadarian Lowe ends up on the practice squad. So I don't even care if it's an old guy, a guy who's 35 years old with maybe one more season left in his pants. They bring that guy in just to have some assurance. If Darrisaw goes down, Brian O'Neill goes down. I mean, it's so easy to get hurt. Trying to fend off one of these pass rushers from an elite pass rusher so they could easily twist an ankle, something go down for a game or two. You want to have somebody there you can trust. And I don't think we can trust Blake Brandel or Old Udo right now.
No, unfortunately, we cannot. Yucky. That's all. I mean, like you said,
yucky.
Old dude, I don't care who it is. Get somebody that can at least come in. Even when Rashad Hill got released last week, this is how bad it is. I actually was thinking it wouldn't be that bad if Rashad Hill was back. And it would be bad if he was back.
I mean, if you only had to play for a game, it would be okay.
We'll see. So offensive tackle. Let's go to the other side of the defensive line. T.Y. McGill. Shocking. Everybody's just got their panties in a bunch that the Vikings released this guy, making the defensive line depth even thinner.
Yeah, and who knows? T.Y. may be back. Maybe I think they can, Plup? Is that what it is? Pup list there for maybe a couple weeks coming back.
Waivers.
The thing I hate about T.Y. McGill, I mean, this guy played well enough to earn a spot on the team, and you see him let go. It's just kind of what else does someone have to do to impress in the preseason to make a team? That's the downside I have with T.Y. McGill. We had him on surprise cut list, so that was definitely a possibility. The question now is, who else are they going to keep? Jonathan Bullard's kind of been quiet since early in camp, early in the preseason. You got Jalen Twyman, who didn't have a great game against the Broncos. So Ndamukong Suh, is he still out there? Is there still embers to that fire?
I don't know. I mean, I gotta go back to the coaches that we brought in. I mean, Ed Donatel, Mike Pettin was just with the Packers and the Bears. Like I said, I think these guys will have some players that they're really keeping an eye on, and I don't think they're going to sign some crazy ass big name or anything like that, but I could see, I mean, this kind of like offensive tackle, I think this one will be fairly easy to upgrade, even if it's somebody else's litter.
Somebody else's
I don't want to say trash
litter.
Somebody else's player that they don't.
Oh, I went right to kitty litter for some reason. I don't know why I went there. Yeah, it's a good point. They may be looking at some guys that they know what they bring to the table. But I don't know. I guess it comes down to what they feel about Bullard and Twyman, really, if they like those guys or not. So we'll find out soon enough here.
If they could upgrade any of these positions we just talked about, I really hope they find a tackle. That's the one. I mean, we mentioned some other positions, like inside linebacker they could be looking at. You mentioned tight end, maybe they look at, maybe cornerback even. But this is a chance, again, for this coaching staff and this front office to get rid of the player, some of Zimmer's leftovers. I mean, this is the perfect opportunity. It's free agency 2.0.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. If they have to pick one of these positions, I'm bringing in a veteran tackle to protect Kirk
Russell Okung, is he like 50 years old? Bring him back. Not back.
I don't care. Bring him in. 1 year. It's all we need. It's all we need. All right, so that's it. Those are 3 positions the Vikings could upgrade after final cuts are made. These tune to the channel here. Lots of Vikings news coming in hot and heavy. We'll be probably up later with a kind of a cut tracker potentially. So lots of things happening. And remember this, giant beavers the size of bears existed around 10,000 years ago.